Okay, so today's topic is, can it ever be too much? The purpose of extravagance and luxury within weddings.
Well, I'll go first and say no. Because basically, everybody that knows me, I'm like OTT and a half. Hi guys, my name is EDB and I'm technically a celebrity hair makeup artist, also an influencer, a blogger, and just an all-rounder, vain individual. I'm joking. No, actually, I just love beauty. So I don't think you can ever spend too much on anything. But I think also it depends on your budget. I don't think anybody that doesn't have the money for it should spend too much. No. So if you have the money for it, do the most. Like, you only have that one chance, hopefully, to have an amazing wedding. So you should definitely do it.
Because just like Edie said, you're never going to get that day back.
Yeah.
So, you know, and like she rightly said as well, I'm against getting yourself into, you know, unnecessary debt, and after the wedding, you know, you're struggling. I went into wedding planning because I have a passion for it. You know that saying that what you can do for free is what you should be doing? And before I got into it, you know, I used to just do bits for people's wedding, like, you know, my friend's wedding. And I'm also that friend that can travel to Australia anywhere just for a wedding. Invite me to a birthday party, I might not come. But if it's wedding, you know what I mean? If you've got the budget, then by all means go all out. And the other thing as well is, you know, when vendors try to charge, you know, my struggle as a wedding planner is, you know, the vendors, you know, say their charges and the client's like, oh, this is too expensive. I'm like, you're actually paying for the service. You know, this is the service you're going to get. So the difference between this person that's giving you, you know, this quote that you consider high is the fact that you're going to be getting a 5-star, you know, an excellent service. So yeah, like by all means, like if you've got the money, by all means go all out. You know, for that day. I mean, it's never gonna come back.
When I get a bill or anything, I'm like, oh, that's why I work. Literally, you work to give yourself the best things you want in life. So if your priority is, you know, finding that loved one and celebrating like your romantic experience, you shouldn't literally put a price on it, really and truly. So I do believe in, and also you pay for quality. You really do for quality.
Exactly.
Like when I first started, oh my God, the bride that paid me, oh my God, bless her, literally, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, Lord, you know, things are going a bit wrong, and I'm like, but I was really cheap. I was like tiny cheap, and it made sense. Now, basically, you're paying for experience and value and everything. At a wedding, I am your makeup artist, your stylist, your assistant, your coordinator. I am doing a lot for you that day because I've done so many weddings. I know how weddings should go. So I'm literally, you're paying for my expertise and obviously our expertise, except for you, obviously, because you're a bride.
Yeah, there are ways to cut corners as well. Like it depends on the couple and what they classify as valuable. You know, like for example, like I definitely had to have a good videographer because it's something that you look back on. You relive the moment and everything like that. The most memorable experience of my wedding was the fact that my husband cried. He cried because he saw the bill. It cost a lot. He's not the type of person that cries, as people that know him would know. But yeah, that was very special to me, and you know, for the videographer to capture that moment, it meant so much.
But I believe,
you know what? I was my own coordinator.
the coordinator will make sure that the cake gets, you know.
Yeah. So I forgot my bouquet at the hotel, and I was so upset. I was really, really upset. When I came out the reception, the church, I was like saying to everybody, "Oh my gosh, I forgot my bouquet," and they were like, "Really? You forgot your bouquet? I didn't even notice that you didn't even have a bouquet." So I was like, you see?
Yeah.
But if you had a coordinator, that would have been forgotten.
No, I was just waiting for her to finish. Because if you had a coordinator, see, that's the thing, people don't really, sometimes like, brides don't really understand the importance of having a coordinator. Because the thing is, a lot of the vendors want information on the day, so you don't want anyone calling you. And the thing is, a lot of times families will be like, "Oh no, don't worry, we can do it. We've got it covered." By the time they start having fun, by the time the day comes, they literally get carried away and they forget. So even though you're a bridesmaid, one of your bridesmaids could have said, "Oh yeah, no, don't worry, we've got it covered." You know, they would have made sure you're booked. But they get carried away as well, like, you know, because they're having so much fun.
They were all getting ready on the day.
Yeah, so if you had a coordinator, there would have been a morning schedule, you know, everything, like your bouquet. No, you wouldn't have forgotten that. And no, you definitely wouldn't have. But yeah. But then again, like I always say it depends on your budget. Like, I mean, if there's no budget for a coordinator, it's ideal to get a coordinator and try and, you know, cut down where you think is not, you know, as important, because your day going smoothly is equally as important. It's you know, so it takes all the stress of you, or all of like, you know, the family member or the, you know, private party.
And a good coordinator is what I find that they help you. Like, so you might think the importance is a DJ, but they were like, actually no, because I've done so many weddings. This is they help you budget your spending. So you actually need work. I don't know how people get married without work. Like, I have no idea. Like the weddings I do now, thankfully, have coordinators. I do get a little bit of like, so who's planning your wedding? Like, nobody? Are you sure? Ooh, I don't know. I might not do it, because once again, if things don't go according to plan, they blame me for something else that I didn't do. Like people, so I like everything. If you get amazing vendors, like when I know I have him on board, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have amazing pictures. I leave my camera at home. I'm like, okay, don't worry, I'm gonna message him. So things like that, having good team makes sure everything goes smoothly. But
I do agree with that, because on the day, there's something I never ever will forget. We were supposed to have like a water fountain under the cake, and it was already a short cake anyway, but the water fountain was supposed to like give it a bit of height. And they forgot to put it up. So there were gaps in the wedding day that I wish, like, oh man, I wish that was there, or wish this was here. I was thinking, why didn't you just put it up there in the first place? And I do agree with that, to be honest.
It's key what you said, because you said that there's something that you would never ever forget.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of weddings. It's the things that go wrong that you never forget. So even with my clients, you know, I wouldn't say I'm expensive, and I'm definitely not cheap.
Yeah.
I'm not your most expensive, and I'm not your cheapest. You know, but I offer something that is you know, it's for a lifetime. Something that is value for a lifetime. I mean, I tell my clients that, you know, you're looking at this price today, and you're looking at, on the other side of the price is your moments. But what you really need to realize is that your moments actually appreciate in value. You know, by the day. You know, so you know, your wedding in 2012, it's appreciated in value by now, by 2016, and that's your photographs. You know, so I like to tell my clients to see it as an investment, because it is an investment. It's not just, you know, a guy coming and taking pictures, giving you a disc with pictures and saying no. These are your moments. These are your cherished moments. You know, and it's just something that appreciates in value. You know,
I have to say I would.
Yeah, but for you, right? Like I know, like you guys work like from morning till night. That's like fitness right there. How do you guys do it? Like,
I remember the first time I started doing weddings, I had no eggs all over my body. I was like, I need to get in the gym. Because I'm up on my feet.
Is that why you're looking fit? Really? Is that an excuse?
It's 12 hours as well. And then, sorry to cut you short, it's not even just that. It's also the work that they have to put in afterwards. You know, like I always say, like when you're trying to, you know, give like clients, you know, quotes, this is how much this is going to cost, and they're like, so I'm like, you need to actually, if you can actually go and do a day in the life of that vendor, like it's all the work that actually goes into it, you know, like after the weddings, there's like editing, which probably takes hours, you know. So it's not just a day, like lifting the heavy camera as well. Like I tried to lift the lens one time. I was like, oh my god, it's so heavy.
And your equipment is so expensive as well, right?
It is. We've made a heavy investment. I mean, I've spent over probably 16 grand plus just on gear over the time, you know. But I mean, anyone could buy gear. It's the mind behind it. For me, it's the mind behind it and the person behind it. Now, for instance, I've been doing weddings for years, so I can anticipate a moment. When the vows are going on, I'm like, he looks like he's going to cry. But even when I meet the groom in the morning, and he's like, I ain't crying.
You know.
You're going to cry. Trust me. So I tell my second photographer, he's going to cry. Trust me, be in that position. And, you know, that's how it works. You know, now I've worked with other photographers in training that literally don't see these things. You know, and, you know, you can hire a photographer at any stage. It's totally up to you. But your price will tell you.
Exactly.
I think your price will tell you. And for someone like me, I'm one of those old school, pay for something cheap, pay for it twice.
Oh yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And my wife is like that as well, but I'm probably more the extreme. So I would see something on bargain, I'll walk straight past it. I don't care. The way it's packaged, if it looks cheap, I'm like, nah. I'll rather go.
I think it's the African Nigerian art. I think that's what it is. Literally, like why is it cheap? Nah, it's not good.
But it's right though. No, it's right though, because there's so many, you know, weddings that, you know, we haven't planned that we've coordinated where, you know, maybe because bride will usually come and ask you, you know, we were coordinating a wedding. Like, I mean, I'll be happy to recommend a vendor because I want to work with people that I know are professionals. I mean, not to name, we've done a wedding where I don't know if this is allowed to be seen on camera, but we've done a wedding where, you know, there are two photographers, with just day of wedding management, and there are two photographers, and both of them were actually outside with the bride, you know, waiting for the bride to come in. So when the bridal party were going in, there was not a single person in there to capture that. And then so I had to then get one of my coordinators to actually go and get, I shouldn't have to be doing that because, you know, as a professional. So I mean, if Deborah had given a quote to, you know, that bride or another bride, and they'll be like, oh, it's expensive.
I want to be at the front.
Yeah, but exactly. But this is the kind of thing that, you know, he wouldn't miss, or like, you know, any good vendor would not miss.
Yeah, because we understand them. I mean, I'm married, so I understand it even more now. You know, because for the couple, what couples need to understand, on the wedding day, you're kind of on this throne, and you would know because you're married as well.
Yeah.
You're kind of on this throne, so you kind of don't see everything that goes on until probably the dancing. Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Yeah, exactly. Even after,
by the way, this one.
Exactly. Because I remember my wedding. I just remember waving to you. People that, oh, I was at your wedding. I was like, huh, were you? I did not even realize, you know. Yeah. But obviously, when I'm looking at my media, like my video, photography, and things like that, and I'm seeing it, I'm like, wow, I actually cherish it more. Yeah. If I had more money at the time, I would have invested more, you know. So, but it's something that comes with experience. You know, as I said, I'm married, so, you know, I've been on both sides.
But I spent quite a good amount on my videographer, Michael. No, he was awesome. No, literally, like, even though I tried to DIY most of my wedding, like, he made my wedding look like £1 million. Like, literally.
You know, that's smart, because now the thing is, not every bride or not every client is going to have a massive budget.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's brides that are going to want to DIY just for own reasons, for personal reasons. Yeah. But I feel like you're someone that you understood where to place your value. So placing it in something like video, you know it was going to look nice. You know, because the saddest thing to do is to plan this whole luxurious wedding. And then, you know what I mean? And then after the video after it doesn't show it.
Exactly.
Things are missed, you know, like technical, you know, so many different problems.
Yeah, we spent it for sentimental reasons as well. Like we looked at it like we would like to show our wedding video, our special day to our children. You know, by God's grace, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren. That's something that is continuous, because you don't really have like. You witnessed it. Speak about your wedding day. I was like, but with a video, it can bring back all the memories and the moments and everything like that. So I also had like one of my friends. She had a bad experience with, you know, paying for a cheap videographer. Like literally, like by the time she got the pictures and the video, it was all like fuzzy and everything like that. She was like, and you can't bring back the day.
You can't.
So what do you do? Like she had to get pictures from people that took from people's phones or whatever, like, and just blow it up or something. And I learned from that lesson. I said, you know what, this is not gonna happen to me.
You know, it's something like that has happened. Like just a couple of weeks ago, I restaged the wedding. Couple booked a photographer. He messed up the day, and I literally restaged the wedding from hotel upwards.
Wow.
Literally. And the thing is, I didn't really want to know what happened. I didn't want to kind of be, you know, that's not my concern. You know, but it's the fact that they had to, and funny enough, when we looked at, you know, they had been quiet before. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But we did everything, and it was still lovely. I'm so happy that I was able to, you know, give them something to cherish and stuff like that. But I don't know what happened, but for whatever reason, they had to do it again.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, one of my advice is that you should never cut, like, things you should never cut down on is like, you know, makeup, like the media. Yeah. Because if your makeup and your hair looks good, like your picture will, you know,
you're looking good for life.
Yeah, do you understand? And like, you know, you should never, like, even if you try to cut down on anything, like, you know, never cut down, because like I said before, you know, earlier on when we're having that discussion, like this is what the day goes like, you know, like you said, like you can't even remember like pretty much a lot of things that went on. But now you sit down and look at your videos and look at your pictures and, you know, you're happy because this is what you've got to, you know, look at forever. So you should never, that's something you should never compromise on the price. So
and likewise with planning and coordinating, because you can hire expensive vendors and your time management is so poor. That's why someone like Tola, when Tola's on board, we know that, okay, I'm going to have time for pictures, I'm going to have time to set my gear up at the church, I'm actually going to have time, because time is actually the currency on the day, you know, so you can have everything, your expensive cake, you can have dance performances and all that, but when your time is bad, you know, and I've seen so many things get cut out of weddings.
Sorry, and the main thing for weddings that we all know, and then you guys should know as well, is that we are here. We are here. Basically, we are here to make your day amazing in the sense that things can go wrong, like, but you wouldn't know. Like weddings I've been to, no matter how experienced you are, no matter what we do, things happen. There's traffic, there's this. But every wedding I've been to, the bride is always smiling and happy because you don't know anything, literally, because we thought it.
We're sweating in the
Literally, and you look
to manage the day, like,
exactly.
oh my God, where's the caterer? And this is the other problem as well. So when maybe the bride, you know, like we said earlier on, not everyone has the same budget. So, you know, fair enough. So, you know, you get those brides, you know, they haven't booked, you know, the top catering, you know, company there. And so these things happen. And you're looking at the time the caterer hasn't arrived and you're like, oh my God, what is going on? What is going on? You know, the kind of business. So, you're in the background trying to delay, store things. You're stalling. The bride's happy because they don't know. But in the background, you're like, oh my God, you're praying, you're doing everything. Oh my God, the caterer needs to get
I'm not going to lie, I was one of those brides that, you know, especially with the catering, I tried to cut corners. That's something that I would never do again, which, unless I get married again. But
you could do 10 years, you could do exactly renewal.
Not married again, but renewal vows. So it just went not completely wrong, but my bridesmaids were telling me afterwards, oh, we ran out of food, the guests were complaining, and I was just like, oh well, you know, but that's something that I cut corners on, and I wish I didn't cut corners on, because it was a lady that I knew, and she did our whole wedding meal in her kitchen. And when I saw her kitchen wasn't that big. It was like literally that's the size of this kitchen. And I was thinking, how are you going to do all my... But okay, all right, I trust you. But there weren't enough food, so...
I think you would make an amazing wedding vendor. Because you've got all the
exactly. And you know, I found that most of the weddings I've been to, the vendors, actually people that were married before, literally, from their own experience and stuff like that.
Funny enough, I'm kind of getting into it little by little, only because, like, for example, like, I was lucky enough to find a venue that came with everything. So it came with the waiters, it came with the tablecloth, chairs or whatever, and the chair covers and all that stuff. So all we kind of had to do was do the decoration. So obviously I got a flower vendor or whatever, and I just basically bought my own centerpieces. And now those centerpieces in my house, I had about 30 tables, so I've got like 30 centerpieces, and they're quite big as well. And like after my wedding, people coming to me like, oh, that's do you have any centerpiece or whatever? I'm like, well, I do rent them out. I do rent them out. So now I've built upon that. Like I just bought more stuff and whatever. And now people rent out. Like, I do chocolate fountains. I do this and this and this. So I'm also a bit, a vendor with you guys, but a potential one.
That's good. It's good because I can see the passion. And it starts with passion.
Yeah.
Definitely with passion, and that's quite key that you mentioned passion. Because one thing I've kind of noticed is you always know the people that have the passion. Like for instance now, because anybody was saying I can use him as an example, but it's not, some other photographers as well that happen. Like even though it's scheduled for maybe like 10 hours or whatever, but it would stay longer sometimes to capture like special functions and so it's just things like that, or like makeup artists, like your brides maybe they're done, but you will stay longer because you actually want it to be perfect.
And party because the weddings are lit. The weddings are off the hook. I'm like, I want to stay here and party.
But why you staying to party?
Obviously, you're taking care of of course.
You going over and beyond.
Exactly. So that passion is key. There's a difference between people that have just gone into it and that's the problem with a lot of quite a few of the vendors in the industry. Everyone's probably just gone into it because they think, oh, it's glam, just say, oh, I'm a wedding photographer, I'm a wedding planner, that kind of thing.
My take on it is a little bit different because obviously for what I do is from all of us here, honestly, hair and makeup is usually the least important in most people's eyes. But once again, depending on who they are. I've been doing this for so many years. I'm very comfortable with what I do. I understand that my clients, I get clients that put value on my work. So I'm not a person, because I'm not the cheapest in the world, like we've said, and I'm not going to push you to do something you don't want to do. So my clients that book me because my aesthetic is making that person look and feel amazing the whole day. So if you put value in that, by all means pay for that. Do you understand? But everybody's different. People can do the makeup themselves. Like, your makeup is flawless today, literally, So once again, it depends on what you want to do. I'm not one to tell you spend grand on a makeup artist. No, if you don't think that's important to you. But if you do think it's important to you, then like if you like looking glamorous and looking fleeky and looking amazing, don't now go and cut corners. Because once again, like I said, makeup artist's job, hair and makeup artist's job is to make sure you look full. I'm that kind of girl that on the wedding day, like once people meet me and think I'm a tad bougie, on the wedding day, I'm I'm working for you.
Yeah.
I'm your slave. I'm going on my hands and knees, doing this, doing that, like just to make, because I want to get that perfect moment for you. Literally. People say, oh my idiot, you're so humble. I'm like, they're paying me. Of course I'm going to be humble. Are you okay? Literally.
Actually on my wedding day.
I've worked with her, and trust me.
I don't know where you guys.
And that's another point that I was going to say beforehand was that when you pay for, I don't like the word luxury. When you pay for put value on something, you get what you get. We here as vendors, as a new vendor, in the sense that we don't give you what we want. We listen to what you want. Exactly. When I first started, I was like, I want to spend. I was a tad more in my head. Now, because I'm confident in what I do, I know what I do. It's all about you. So I find that our clients leave happy because we don't impose our vision onto you. We listen to you. Like, what do you want? How do you want it? You want it? Like, you feel happy and you're paying for quality. And that's what it is. You like everyone. Your wedding is a beautiful day, a beautiful moment. You want to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And what you pay for. And hair and makeup, some people might say, oh, that's a bit weird. That adds to you looking amazing. Because you're walking down the aisle and things, and if you do the little dances or little movements, all those little things work, So I think people just, future brides, like everyone said, allocate what's important to you. I don't think, like some weddings I do now, like we talk about luxury weddings in the sense that I tend to do a lot more high-end weddings, and that's just because what I do charge for hair and makeup, for instance, a person will not pay, if your venue costs that much, why would you pay for makeup like that? You wouldn't. The people that book me are people that the venues and the planners and the photographers cost a certain level. So I'm not exactly the most bougie person in the world, but I do. Actually, I am. I am. Sorry. I'll tell you. No, because I find that like my work, like you said about looking at somebody's work, when I've done a not so amazing wedding, for instance, when I say that in a sense that when the bride has a very own vision that doesn't go with my vision necessarily, and it doesn't come together, you as the bride will look at that work and think, oh, that looks awful. Then you don't want to book me. Does that make sense? So you have to have that good working relationship. And I don't take on every bride that comes my way. I don't, because if a bride, because you get this a lot, you have a bride that is beautiful and dark skin and gorgeous, Naomi Campbell, and show me a picture of Beyonce. You're like, honey, I can't do it. Do you understand? So in the past, I would say yes, and then obviously the bride will be disappointed because I can't give a Beyonce. Now I have to be realistic and say, do you know what? I don't think we work together because there's a lot of us in the industry.
That's so true.
So in life, it's about the experience. You're paying for that level of experience, and for that, it's priceless. Give me your money.
I'm looking forward because especially for me with some of the luxury venues that I've worked with here in London, I walk in and they're like, oh, you're black. I've actually had one say to my face, wow, oh, you're black, because I only dealt with them mostly on the phone originally. And I'm like, wow, your level of professionalism is top notch. And I was like, but it shouldn't matter whether I'm black or white.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't.
The professionalism should be there as a wedding planner anyway.
The standard
so it's for me, it's seeing more and more vendors in the Afro-Caribbean aiming, striving to be on that level that, I want to be better than the last one I did.